starring Tommy Rettig as Jeff Miller, Jan Clayton as his mother, Ellen, George Cleveland as Gramps, and, of course, Lassie.
That was good, Lassie. Now we'll try it once more for luck. Hi, Porky.
Hi, what you doing out here?
Oh, nothing.
What you hiding behind your back?
Behind my back? I got nothing behind my back.
Well, yeah, then what's that thing sticking down? Now it's sticking up.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, okay, so it's my violin.
What you doing out here in the woods with your violin?
You're always asking questions.
Well, you don't ask any questions. How can you get any answers?
You know she won't eat apple cores.
I know, I'd just like to see her catch 'em. You gonna take violin lessons again?
Yeah,
How come? I thought old Butterfield broke his wrist.
we did, but it's all better now.
He should have broken his neck. Then you wouldn't have anything to worry about. Well, anyway, what were you doing out here in the woods?
Teaching Lassie a trick.
You mean with a violin?
Yeah. Well, if you want to see the trick, you can come along. But you gotta stay out of sight.
Why? I mean, okay. What you sneaking for?
Shh. I had to sneak out, so I gotta sneak back. Now, you go around to the parlor window, but don't let anybody see you. And the door's open, so we'll have to be real quiet. Now, if you get caught, don't say anything.
Oh, Dad,
Yeah?
have you seen Jeff?
Ain't seen him since breakfast.
Jeff? Jeff?
What do you want him for?
Oh, he knows he's supposed to practice an hour before going to his lesson.
You know, he hates that fiddle like poison.
So you've said many times.
Well, I'm only stating facts.
Oh, he's in the parlor practicing. Bless his heart.
Come back here, you crazy...
Practicing.
Well, is the duet necessary?
Huh? Oh, you mean Lassie?
You know very well what I mean.
Well, I tried to keep her quiet, but I guess she just can't stand the pain.
The pain?
She's been fighting it up to now. But it finally must have got the best of her.
What are you talking about?
Well, I read in the encyclopedia. There are certain types of sounds that hurts a dog's ears something awful.
Yeah, Miss Miller, Jeff's right about that. Dogs have got awful sensitive ears.
Well, obviously, we can't let Lassie go on suffering like this.
Oh, no, it'd be too cruel.
Of course, you could always get her some earmuffs.
Seems like we're up against a real problem.
Well, it looks like I'll either have to give up playing the violin or I'll have to give up Lassie. Whatever you say, Mom.
Give up Lassie? Why, she's practically family.
Oh, she is family.
Well, then, we don't have any other choice. You'll just have to give up the violin. I'll call Mr. Butterfield. I'm sure he'll understand. Lassie. Come here, girl.
Oh, where we're getting ready to go fishing. She's coming with us.
Oh, this won't take but a few minutes, dear. Want to try a little experiment?
Experiment? What's she mean, Gramps?
Search me. What's that?
Somebody's playing a violin.
Mom, do you know the Lassie?
Oh, yes, dear.
Well, I mean,
This violin playing doesn't seem to bother Lassie's ears at all. Now, isn't that strange?
yeah. Oh, say, what do you know? How do you like that?
I'd even venture to say that she's actually enjoying it. Look at her tail.
She's just being brave, that's all.
I'll bet she's just standing up, fighting back the pain.
Oh, anyone can see she's enjoying it. She just can't stand the sound of the violin when it's played poorly. That's all.
Something tells me that's the way she's going to hear it.
So isn't it wonderful, Jeff? It isn't a question of you getting rid of Lassie after all.
It isn't?
No, the solution is simple. If you care anything about Lassie's poor, sensitive ears, well, you'll just buckle down and practice real hard so you'll play better.
Looks like you're up a tree, son.
It's a lucky thing I didn't call Mr. Butterfield and cancel your lesson today.
Yeah, lucky.
What about all those nice, juicy worms we went and dug up?
Oh, they won't go to waste, Porky. Jeff will be back in time for you to get in a little fishing.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, we better go get the worms out of the sun.
You think you're pretty tricky, don't you? Twisting things up like that.
Yes, I thought I did that just right.
Well, all it'll do is make 'em hate the fiddle worse.
You won't rest until you make me the villain of the piece, will you?
Now, look, Ellen, if this Mr. Butterfield hadn't come to Calverton a year ago for his help, you wouldn't have thought of Jeff taking up violin, would you?
Well, you may be right, Dad, but Mr. Butterfield is here, and Jeff is very lucky.
Why?
Well, it isn't every boy who can say that his teacher used to play with the Chicago Symphony.
Well, all I can say is, unless he gets a liking for the fiddle, he's not going to learn a blessed thing on it, no matter who his teacher is.
Once he learns how to play it, he'll get to like it.
No use banging my head against a stone wall.
Come on now, Lassie. I gotta think. Once you start taking lessons, you're stuck for years and years and years. Gramps, you just gotta help me.
I don't know what I can do, boy.
I'd like to do what Mom wants, but I hate that violin. It's awful.
I tell you what,
Yeah?
I got an idea buzzing around in my head.
What is it?
Now, hold on. It ain't nothing can save you from that lesson this afternoon.
Oh.
And I won't be able to do anything if you don't stop these shenanigans, like all this business that you and Lassie cooked up.
Can't you tell me what you're figuring on doing?
Look, did your old Gramps ever let you down? Then you just take it easy and leave it to me, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I told you, no more shenanigans. You can't come with me. I promised Gramps. Okay. Looks like I gotta put you in the barn. Come on. In you go. And anyway, I don't know whether I ought to feel sorry for you or not. You were supposed to help me out of this jam. But now, all of a sudden, you're a music lover. Oh, it wasn't your fault, girl. And anyway, everything's gonna be okay. Gramps is working on a scheme. But you gotta stay in here. You'd better go on home. I'll meet you later.
Mr. Butterfield won't mind if I come along and watch.
I'm not thinking of Mr. Butterfield.
Okay, then.
Wait, Porky. I'd rather suffer alone.
But I'm your friend. Your pal, ain't I?
Yeah, you're my pal.
Remember, I even let you come to the dentist with me once, and it didn't hurt half so bad with you sitting there.
Well, but...
I even gave you my tooth.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, I don't see why.
Well, okay. But just sit quiet. Don't do anything to get me in trouble.
We aren't making very much progress, are we, Jeffrey?
I'm just playing what it says here.
Once more. Now, what is it?
Nothing, sir.
I'm beginning to doubt my own ears. Continue. That's enough. Put your violin away. I have a note to write.
A note to who?
Your mother.
As you know, I came to Calverton for my health. But if I continue to be exposed to violin playing like your sons and howling dogs under my window, I will go to an early grave. Therefore, madam, I beg of you, save your money and my nerves. Sincerely, Francis Butterfield.
Honest, Mom, I locked Lassie in the barn. She didn't go with me. You can ask Porky.
Oh, so you dragged Porky with you, too?
No. He just came because we're pals.
No wonder you drove poor Mr. Butterfield out of his mind. And no wonder he had to write a note like this.
No shenanigans, Gramps. Believe me.
Jeff, I hate to do this, but you give me no other choice.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to find you a teacher in Capital City, and I'm going to drive you there myself every Saturday.
Every Saturday?
Yes. Now, suppose you change your clothes and finish stacking the wood behind the barn.
Well, I was supposed to go fishing with Porky.
No fishing.
You know, Miss Miller, them some of the best victuals that I've had in a long time. Real splendiferous. Especially that there yeller cornbread.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
You know, there's nothing that I like better than fresh baked yeller cornbread. Last time I had any as good as this was the time that they made me honorary chief of the Chippewa Indians.
Golly.
Oh, hey, you'd like to hear about that, wouldn't you, son?
Yes. I'm supposed to go to bed right after supper on account of something.
Oh, well, it doesn't have to be right after. I'll tell you what. Why don't you all go into the parlor while I clean up?
Good idea. Come on, Slim.
You were going to tell me what was in this sack.
I was? Well, now, Chuck, I'll do better than that. I'll show you. Come on. Yeah. There she is.
Violin.
Yeah, sure. Only back where I come from, we call them fiddles.
That fiddling you've been through a lot, haven't you, Slim?
Oh, we sure have. You know, in my day, a fiddler was a mighty respected fella.
Oh, yes.
Mighty handy man to have around, too.
Why?
Well, sir, now, that's a good question, son. And I'm just the man that can answer it. You see, traveling out over the plains in the old days, why, a good fiddler was the only thing that the pioneers had, you know, to get their minds off of wild beasts and scalp hunting Injuns.
Tell 'em about the time you was made honorary chief of the Chippewa Indians, Slim. I'll bet that was exciting.
Well, it sure was. Hey, do you want to hear about that, son?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, you see, it was up around Lake Huron. That's up in the wilds of Gitchagumi. Well, our wagon train, it was circled clean around, all the way around with bloodthirsty Indians, just a-whooping and a-hollering like all get out, and a-closing in for the kill. Well, sir, them there horses, they were just going round and round in a circle, and they kept coming in closer and closer, and they were shooting arrows, too, shooting arrows just as fast as they could string them. But just at that minute, an idea hit me. Yes, sir, right straight out of the blue. And I started playing Ginny Get Around. And by criminy, that done it.
What'd it do?
Well, sir, they suddenly broke out on the loose, and they just scattered and carried them screaming devils in every which direction. Yes, sir, and just clean out of sight.
Why? Why'd they do it?
You see, them horses and them Indians was going around and around in a circle. But the minute they heard me playing Ginny Get Around, why, they just busted loose and went crazy with all kinds of confusion. Because, you see, Ginny Get Around is a square dance. Well, anyway, that night, the head man of the Chippewa tribe of Indians, he come down to where we was camped. Yes, sir, he wanted to talk to the fiddling man. That's me. And he wanted to smoke a pipe apiece. Well, sir, it was then that they made me honorary chief of the Chippewa tribe of Indians.
Golly.
Yeah. Say, would you like to hear how that tune goes? 1, 2. The geese in the ocean. Hug that pretty gal if I get a notion.
Chew the tobacco and a swallow the juice. Like to go to heaven, but it ain't no use.
I never thought I'd be playing square dances on the organ.
Say, that was a real wing-ding, wasn't it?
I guess I'd better say goodnight, Mr. Hawkins. Glad to have met you.
Well, yeah, I'm glad to have met you too, son, but...
You don't mind if I go to my room now, do you, Mom?
Well, of course not, Jeff, but I thought we were having fun.
Oh, sure, but I think I'll go to my room. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night.
boy.
Good night, Jeff. Oh, don't take it so hard, Dad.
Dang it all, I thought I could show him what fun he'd have with the fiddle, and he might get to like it.
Anyway, you tried. A for effort.
Don't understand it. He was having fun like all the rest of us, and he ups and leaves.
Yeah. Please don't mind. I decided I'd rather have a happy home than all the music in the world. And if Jeff has no feeling for...
All right. favor? I can't get any practicing done with Lassie in there. Would you keep her in here for me?
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Mom.
Well, I'll be.
And I'll join you.